The most anticipated culinary showdown of the Food and Rum Festival returns in 2023 with 12 young cooks ready to give what it takes to become the 2023 Junior Chef Cook-Off Champion. Join us as we watch them engage in several cooking activities across the island and ultimately face off at 3 elimination challenges leading up to the final event at the Food and Rum Festival. This is the 2023 Junior Chef Cook-Off Competition. Hi, I'm your host, Megan Michael, and this is the final episode of our series. We're at the semi-finals round, and within 20 minutes, our judges are going to make a decision as to who advances onto the 2023 Junior Chef Cook-Off Finals. Now, I've been with the contestants for about a few weeks, and listen, it has been a roller coaster ride. There has been some challenges, redemptions, success, and failures. Not to mention, half of the competitors have been cut out of the competition. Here's a look back at some key moments for the past 3 episodes.
So as the time started, I was following my plan, have everything written out, I had all my ingredients gathered. And then boom, I start chopping my onion, slice off my thumb. It was bleeding a lot. I called over chef, was like, "Chef, I have a cut." He looking at me like, "How you managed to cut yourself?" I was like, "With a knife."
I'm here in a competition. I'm excited. I'm preparing to be the winner of this competition, but something has come up. Unfortunately, timing did not work out, and I am leaving the country for studies.
Ashania, thank you so much. You've done a great job and good luck in the future.
Thank you. Best of luck to everyone.
I honestly didn't think I was gonna get seasick, or at least as bad as I did. But I think maybe we probably shouldn't have eaten before we went on the boat.
Later on, coming back home, I went downstairs because everybody had seemed really disoriented at that time. And it was only when I came back upstairs that I started to feel the seasickness from down bottom. That's when I took my business overboard.
So while on these islands, I also noticed Cyan, the time and the pressure was kind of getting to her, and she like kind of started to cry and kind of get frustrated.
I went to the oven, and in the midst of the cameraman and Dominique being there, I took the pork out of the oven and I bumped into Dominique and the pork fell on the ground. At that point, I wanted to cry, but I didn't. And I took out the pork, I went back to my station, and I plated it.
The remaining contestants are Ashan, Dejon, Dominique, Jade, Raphael, and Roger. Let's get to know them a bit better. Jade was the top performer in the first elimination round and received automatic advancement to the semi-finals. This week, she returns to the competition with a single goal in mind, delivering another top-notch performance.
So it was a shock to find out that I was the top performer over everyone else in the competition, and I am ready to come back into this competition and bring my A game and see if I can do that again.
Dejon is the other contestant who received quarterfinals immunity for his notable performance in the first elimination round. Considered the top runner by most of the other competitors, he'll be feeling the pressure to perform to keep the title as the one to watch.
So there's no pressure about being the one to watch. I always put my best foot forward in whatever I'm doing. But I'm just honored that, the rest is up to me as the person to watch. But semifinals, brilliant.
Having no formal culinary education has proven to be limiting, but no handicap for Ashan. He has taken big risks that no one else has, and he's aware that he'll need a bit more to keep putting in the extra effort to secure his spot at the final.
For the present moment, I have not as yet attended culinary school. However, I consider myself as raw talent, so Going into the competition, going into the semi-finals, wanting to be a finalist, I just really had full of faith and confidence, that I can do all things.
Dominique has mastered the art of recovery when things seem to go off track. But she knows that a strong plan and adhering to Chef Edie's advice on time management is the only way through to the final round.
It has been quite a ride because having to always find a way to recover after something goes wrong or, a plan doesn't quite work out how it's supposed to. It has been kind of tough to constantly have to, try to deliver to the point that it needs to be. So I know I need to get my order of work on point.
Raphael suffered some bad luck early on as he cut himself in the first kitchen training. But this seemed to only improve his attention to detail for cleanliness and safety in the kitchen, as this has been his strong point according to Chef Edie and the judges.
Going into the semi-finals, I think I just need to focus on keeping my area clean because that helps a lot to me. Also, same time management, I need to just focus on that and don't worry about what anybody else is doing, but the cleanliness and time management I think will be my two biggest friends going into the semi-finals.
Roger was fortunate to escape injury in a car accident the day before the first trial in the kitchen and later overcame time management issues to make the semi-finals. His knife skills and in-depth knowledge of techniques have been acknowledged by Chef Edie and the judges throughout his performances.
The heat is officially on in the semi-finals, and I'm just going to go in and focus on what I'm good at.
Now, at this point, we don't know who will advance, but you, our viewers, are invited to join us at the live finals event on October the 21st at the Barbados Food and Rum Festival event, Beijing Fair. Secure your tickets by visiting our website at the link on your screen. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've got one last set of activities with the contestants. Let's join them. Today, the competitors will come to see me at the BTMI head office, where I'll host them for their media session. To be well-rounded chefs praying for the Food and Rum Festival spotlight, our semi-finalists will need to bring a balance of culinary skills, charisma, and confidence to the table.
Megan as a host, I believe she's very fitting for the role. She's very sparky, very energetic, and just a good personality, honestly.
Megan is really fun. She's kind of, I guess you could say, relatable because she's sort of around our age range and stuff. And I think she makes it comfortable for us, and it's easier to kind of interact with her and sort of find our footing when it comes to the camera.
I don't think I was nervous because when I first started, first time I see the camera, I used to be freaking out, but kind of mask the nervousness now a little bit. Probably might move my hand or shake. Or Megan's training has definitely improved my skills and my talking in front of the camera for sure.
I would say that I have gotten more comfortable being in front of the camera because when we had our first interaction right in front of the camera, I was okay. I was not ready for that at all, and I wanted the camera to just step back.
When you presented your food, all of y'all, the head was down. Y'all had on caps and the head was down, and you kind of, you were kind of nervous as to hear what they were going to say. So when you present that food and really speak about it. And this time for the semi-finals, put in a bit of your personality with the food.
Since training with Megan, I got a little more comfortable, I would say. I'm not, all the way comfortable because it's still a bit too up close and personal, but I'm getting more comfortable enough to at least be able to stand in front of it and be like, oh, okay, well, you're there. Okay, well, yeah.
One main takeaway from Megan's session that I will say has kind of stuck with me is to not get flustered even if you make a mistake and stuff. Just take a deep breath and start over.
Well, that's it for me. On to the last stop before the semifinals.
The Bravo dig. The big man Brathwaite has got an important wicket. Side. Oh, West Indies, that helps. Will it carry? It does carry. Remember the name. History for the West Indies.
We're gonna have the cracker first, let's go around. Then we're gonna add the beef. Then we're gonna do sliced plum tomato, which we're only gonna hit with a little bit of lime juice as well, salt and pepper, olive oil. And then we're gonna put this right on top, right? So basically, it's a layered cracker using Caribbean spice mixed beef, a nice fresh plum tomato, and topped with a citrus meal.
The Tastiest Festival is back and bigger than ever. From October 19th to October 22nd, it's all about the Barbados Food and Rum Festival, featuring international and local award-winning chefs and mixologists and Afrobeat sensation Ira Star. This is the ultimate culinary experience. 8 signature events. Experience Rice and Rum, the ultimate all-inclusive breakfast party. Grab the entire family and head to the Bajan Fair, or dance the night away to Ira Star at the ultra-premium all-inclusive Liquid Gold Feast. Secure your tickets now at foodandrum.com or check social media for box offices. Get ready and get hungry because the Barbados Food and Rum Festival is back.
We are at the Crane Resort and Residences, where our contestants will be immersed in the niche of fine dining. The resort, which is the oldest continuously operating hotel in the Caribbean, features luxury amenities and services including 4 restaurants, a beach bar, a cafe, and a cocktail and tapas bar.
The top prize for this year's competition is an internship at the Crane, and I think I could get used to being here.
Our host for today is Carissa, outlet manager at Donofrio's restaurant located here at the resort.
Well, this was the first time I went to the Crane, and I honestly didn't expect it to be like this. Like, it literally looked like a town hall. Like, you had a Diamonds International store, a clothes store. Like, it just wasn't the expected standard of a hotel that I expected.
For me, it was a first time thing in that type of 5-star hotel resort kind of thing. I really had dreams of working there, you know. I had dreams of doing some amazing things with the team we met.
So my favorite part about the Crane really and truly was the Zen restaurant, which is Japanese based.
While on tour, the contestants also got to meet mixologist Andrew Williams at Bar 1887, who served them up a refreshing drink. Next, they're treated to a cooking demo by junior sous chef at Lazur restaurant, Surana Jones.
She just kind of explained that from young, the age of 17, she was away from home, and she was working on a cruise ship for these amount of years, and like it was just kind of like giving me ideas that at a young age you could kind of get out there and experience stuff, and like, you know, always have to stay close to home. It might be, you might miss home, but just get out there.
Executive pastry chef Nikisha Holder also gives a brief address to the aspiring chef.
My favorite part of the Crane tour was seeing Zen, their Asian restaurant. Their ambiance and decor was very interesting. It was different to what I'm usually seeing, as well as the live sushi bar. I just found that interesting and new to me.
We went and had a demonstration from Surana at the Lazure restaurant. I enjoyed that a lot. She was very educational. She went through every step slowly to make sure that we understood what she was doing. Everything that she said that she was going to cook was on that plate. I tasted every single component of the dish. It was beautifully done. I ate every single thing on the plate.
And now, the main event. Right here, right now, marks the last time we'll see these 6 junior chefs cook in this kitchen. So you know what that means. We're about to witness the semi-finals round to see who advances onto the 2023 Junior Chef Cook-Off Finals. As usual, we have Chef Edie as a facilitator, and to choose the finalists, we have returning judges, Chef Natalia Reed and Rasheed Cummings. Here's today's competition rules. The first course must be a Bajan soup, of course, with dumplings, and the second course will be a unique creation, which include a fillet of tuna, 1 starch, at least 2 vegetables, and a sauce or gravy. They must use a Carmitas product for one or both of their courses. They will have 90 minutes to complete both courses, which therefore means they'll have 2 service windows. Ultimately, 2 competitors will be eliminated today.
My thoughts going into the semi-final are just making sure I get my dishes done on time, focusing on my time management, as well as the soup, making sure that I can produce that well, and just producing my overall dish to the best of my ability.
I knew in my mind that there could have been a possibility of me not making it to the semifinals, but I made it.
For the semi-finals, Jane and Dijon were back in the kitchen. For me, it wasn't intimidating, not time at all, because I know that it's gonna be a battle to the end.
When I got back into the kitchen from receiving immunity from the quarterfinals, it was overwhelming to say, because I came in knowing that I have to do appetizers and a main course, and when I left, I was only doing main course.
Well, the immunity was unexpected. It kind of broke my momentum, but I'm excited to be back in the kitchen and in the semi-finals.
Well, before I even started, I was just telling myself, man, Raf, when you go in the semi-finals, just make sure you do what you plan to go in there and do. Don't watch nobody else. Just focus and keep your head on. Try not to make any stupid mistakes. But I think that was the most nervous I was since I was at the competition.
So if you're all ready, the cooking will start right now.
My preparations for the semi-final, I had created a time plan to effectively work in the kitchen and just follow that so I could flow. Also preparing ideas of how I can develop my soup in that short amount of time, and as well as just preparing my components for my main course.
My main thought process was thinking about my time schedule. I wanted everything to go on point.
So some of the problem areas that the chef had told me about from the previous training and the first elimination was that, in the first training, my station was untidy, I didn't finish on time. He also mentioned in the first elimination that my plate needed to be more balanced in terms of veg. So in the semi-finals, I just kind of taken all the cons that he was explaining to me and just kind of implemented them into semi-finals.
My composure was there, but then I started to get a little nervous. The judge even came to me and told me, you know what you're doing? Relax yourself, and I really took it to heart because I just like, what is happening, But I guess it was like, this is the point here, it's do or die, and I did my best, man. That's really it, so I'm thankful.
From the moment that I heard Chef say start, the first thing that I was focused on was getting my soup together, getting the flavor in it, and also getting my vegetables and my chicken in it so that everything would be cooked perfectly and I would have the soup that I imagined in my head.
So far, we have seen a lot of interesting shapes being forged out of the primary starches.
Using the baller to put my squash and potatoes in a ball just to give a different shape to the dish for a garnish. For me, a Bajan soup, it is ground provisions and dumplings. That's mainly what is put into a Bajan soup, so that definitely was one of the main components that I think I had to put in my dish.
Well, Bajan soup for me is really, and it comes back to my background, a lot of ground provisions, a lot of healthy living. So Bajan soup for me is really a mixture of stewing, your profound vegetables, indigenous to Barbados and whatnot. So, and dumplings too. But any part of the chicken wants is a small bite. So to prepare my soup, I bought a lot of fresh ingredients from my farm.
To me, a typical Bajan soup is full of body. It has a lot of ground provisions in it. It's very tasty, like very, very tasty, and the dumplings are in it are just very soft and nice, and they hold very good.
Bajan chicken soups are taking shape all throughout the kitchen, and the Carmitas products are making an appearance for the dumplings.
Service window is open.
While the judges are making their rounds, Chef Rashid spots what could be considered a big mistake that one of the contestants has made. A dirty blender has been left unattended, and in the context of cleanliness, this is a definite no-no.
So when we were cooking and Chef Rashid came around and asked about the blender, honestly my heart dropped a little bit because I knew I had washed that blender. Nobody else confessing about using the blender, but it wasn't me. It might have been Dejan or Ashan.
I decided coming out the end soup to use a pumpkin puree to help thicken and enhance the color of my soup. However, I guess I left the blender a bit long before rinsing it. But it's all within time management, I guess.
While the appetizer is pretty straightforward, Chef Edie has included a curveball of sushi-grade tuna as the entree protein. How our contestants prepare this protein will make or break the chances of them going to the finals.
The tuna, it shocked us all. Honestly speaking, it shocked us because we hardly had any product knowledge.
The chefs are noticing the preparation of the tuna, and they're not confident any of the contestants have the product knowledge necessary to ace the entree challenge.
So I began to poach my tuna, and Chef Rashi came around and he was asking me how I was poaching it and why I was poaching it. I just told him that that's what I felt comfortable doing. But I think that might have been a red flag.
So during the closing moments of the competition, Chef Rashi had came to me while I was just doing my tuna, and he asked me, "Were you frying the tuna?" So I was explaining to him that I was not frying, I was supposed to be searing it, but it all worked out.
We're almost at the 30 minutes to go mark, and Chef Edie appears worried about the competitors' progress.
Everything kind of went to plan in my head for the most part. The consistency of my soup, I would have liked it to be, a bit thicker, and my tuna, it was overcooked. But other than that, everything kind of flowed how I wanted it to.
Yeah, everything wasn't going to plan because at one, I think he called, it was 20 minutes and my fish was still in the fridge and my sauce hadn't been started yet and my veg was still on the cutting board. So I was rambling at that point because everything was going through my mind like, oh shoot, well you don't have everything put together as yet. So no, everything was not going to plan.
There's like 2 minutes on the clock and I'm starting to plate. This was probably the hardest time that I've ever had plating something. I ended up having to take off things multiple times to put them back on, just kind of fidgeting with it a lot.
I know like, I was panicking a little bit. I think I was now trying to get everything plated too. I have finished one plate, but I was now trying to get my other plate there, and I don't think my sauce was on any of the plates yet. I don't think my sauce was on the plates at all.
So I took my potatoes out of the oven, and when I tried to remove them from the pan, they were a bit stuck. Some of them were a bit stuck, and just tried to cover that up a bit with the ones that were good.
3, 2, 1.
I wasn't fully satisfied with my execution because I knew in my heart I could have done better, you know. The lack of knowledge in certain aspects and areas of, you know, my execution and cooking methods is what really had me a bit baffled, had me a bit like, nah, this is it, this is do or die, you know. But I still appreciate myself and my efforts regardless.
That was a nail-biting 90 minutes of work, and now the judges will assess each contestant's creation. Let's listen in.
You see, Ashan got many things in this soup. Peas and cooked though. Flavor-wise is good. This is Roger. Is your interpretation of it, but we really gotta get some body on these soups.
Roger, she cut the vegetables in the melon baller. That was different.
Dominique gotta work on these knife cuts.
Yeah, they make even, and the different cuts too.
This is Dijon. What he did, he grated the pumpkin.
Correct.
And let that cook in the stock first, and then he added in everything else. So that was
with the body too. Only because the soup set here that it looked that way, but it actually had good body.
Correct.
Only here about the soup that got like an essence taste.
Raphael, this soup it has entirely too much pepper. It's not the kick. It's that it's over seasoned.
Woo.
Yeah, he's getting it. And this is Jade.
Much ain't even in this soup because look, dumplings and just squash chicken.
Yeah, I don't mind it with just the potato and the pumpkin dumplings. I don't mind that, but she got balance these flavors better. So who you feel had the best flavors in the soup?
To me, Ashan, but Deshaun had better presentation.
The appetizer assessment is done, and now to the tuna entree.
So Ashan portion size too heavy.
Big.
Let me start there.
Sunday buffet at Accra.
Ain't season this either. This is Roger. I already picking up much flavor in this.
Didn't I so?
See, we still pink, but that's pink because it isn't dead. Alright, Dominique did not utilize this plate properly at all.
I mean, there's no sauce there either.
Flavor wise, it's not bad, but the texture is gone. This is Dijon.
Just need to break this now, just to see. I see it twice for the day, so yeah, this gotta be special to me.
It doesn't have any taste. We really fall down on the seasoning today, no. Look.
That was my fear. And he added the dye to this green pea puree.
Oh, and it's too much dye.
Yeah. This is an interesting one.
Risotto is a specific rice.
Correct.
You can't call something risotto if it is not a boreal rice. Alright, there's Jade here now. The flavor on the sauce good.
I shouldn't season these.
Oh, these in season.
At all.
Taste the sauce.
But it's so sweet though.
I have no idea.
I never had a sweet bash, man.
So if you had to choose a winner just from this main course, what would you do? Because for me, it's Jade, based on the fact that Jade had the softest tuna.
Yeah.
She had the best seasoning, but she had...
the tuna was actually cooked. Yes. They actually could have eaten another piece.
The tuna preparation is the downfall of our contestants, and the only one to prepare it in an acceptable way is...
Me, I see, as I told you, full of potential, but just need a little fine tuning. You know, overall it performed well.
Frying that tuna, because of the grade that it was, that was a bad choice. If you can use that type of tuna, sear.
It gives me once again positive, constructive criticism. You know, lots of talent, lots of potential. However, just a bit of rough ends that need trimming. Man, it's really, I don't know. I could just play that over. As a part of, I don't know. You know, I don't know. Cause I feel it had real nice things there. You know.
So I'm finished and not particularly happy with the tuna. Maybe I should have just filleted it or cooked it a different way. But it is what it is and I finished, so happy with how it came out, I guess.
A sushi grade tuna should never be poached.
If you give us like a nice sear, sesame seed sear, even normal sear, you would have gone clear. Overall, I must say you actually have potential like shooting into the stars. I see you have real knowledge. I actually love what you do. You know, I like that you use breast and wing in your soup, right? Correct, that was two, but you know they cook at 2 different temperatures. Breast is more time they cut, wing has in bone. So you know about the wing and the breast. All that was like part of knowledge. So if you put the wing first, then and the breast last week coming out probably. So but the soup actually carried a good flavor.
For the size bowl that you had, the protein, the chicken in it was entirely too much. The soup was very, very flavorful, but too thin.
The main for me, you actually surprised me with the sweet potato, the roasting of the broccoli. That actually was really nice. You had a sushi grade tuna. Actually had nice flavor. Overall, it was a good performance.
The main feedback that I got from the judges was the consistency of my soup. They thought it was a bit watery, and with my entree, the fish was overcooked, and they would have liked a bit more creativity and color when it came to the starch.
All right, Dijon, the soup. I like the idea of you grating that pumpkin to start that soup because you started the soup with body. The garnishing on the soup was very good as well, different, but you did not season the garnish. You have to also stick to using the correct tools when you're doing the job. So when you were taking out the soup, you gotta use a ladle. So you realize that the color of the dumplings is dark. So we didn't taste the spice. If you use cinnamon or nutmeg in it, we just tasted the essence in it. And that altered the taste of the soup as well. Main course, again, something you did that I didn't see anybody else do. And I said to myself, yeah, he thinking. You had the tuna in the freezer until you're ready to slice it. Perfect. Because you can get a proper cut. The seasoning on it was good, but we didn't sear. Because you know when you sear, you use very, very little oil and you had too much oil in that pan because we know the pan gotta be smoking. You can't be scared of heat. But for the most part, you had a good presentation on the plate. The puree for the peas, too much color.
Too much color.
Yeah.
I tried to add in the rest I had left, but I tried to add them into kind of the ease of the color, but I realized that it was too much typing at first initially, so.
I mean, the flavor wasn't bad, but the color was just off.
And you actually put off one of the best finishes we saw for the day. Honestly, I must say the presentation, your concept, you just need a little bit of guidance. But the concept is there. Potential for sure is there.
Chef Natalia commended me for actually grating in my pumpkin at the beginning of the soup. One of the cons that she explained to me about the soup was the dumplings, that the essence kind of overpowered the whole taste and she was just tasting basically essence. So during the closing moments of the competition, Chef Rashi had came to me while I was doing my tuna, and he asked me, were you frying the tuna? So I was explaining to him that I was not frying, I was supposed to be searing it, but I don't know.
I saw you working today. You actually worked really well under pressure.
You did?
Yeah, for good.
I didn't think so.
Why not? Tell me.
Because to me, in my head, I had the plan of what I wanted to do, and some of the steps were messed up. So I was trying to get back and keep on track. So to me, I think I was getting all over the place.
But I actually think you did good. Probably for the second course, like, a lot better than the first. I saw you when it was there, started by your station. I didn't even phase you, answer questions, you answered your work. You know, I actually was impressed with how you worked today.
So, Jade, I like how you kept your proteins separate. It does feel like a little half hour.
Yeah.
When it's a lot more time than that. But the fact that you finished with 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go, you came in well under the time. The soup itself, too much time. Time was the only herb used in it.
No, I used
a
thyme and full bouquet.
Right, so the thyme was overpowering in the soup. The sweet potato croquettes needed some more seasoning. They held together well, but they needed some more seasoning. To me, the pineapple salsa wasn't a good choice with that type of tuna.
Yeah,
was
when she
too
told me
sweet.
the two, when she said that the pineapple was down, I thought it was the tin. I can't really change.
But the tuna was
But your tuna was the
had
best
the
one
best
that we had for
tuna
the
I
day.
had for
Really?
the day.
Uh-huh.
The best.
That's the
I
best
actually
one.
ate
The best
another
flavor
set
and the best texture that we have for the
for
day.
the day.
I did some extensive research because I know that you won't cook tuna the
Very
same
true.
way. You won't cook it the same way. So I tried to make sure that I could at least see a little more pink.
Yes,
inside.
correct. I actually did. It actually was really, really nice.
I was not impressed with my plating at all. I had a visual in my mind of how I wanted to plate this dish, and this dish was not working with me at all. And I was told that it has still looked okay, but to me, I did the most horrible thing in the world. The main feedback that I got from the judges was seasoning. They wanted just a little more salt in my food. So that was, to me, I was okay with that. It wasn't too harsh.
From the beginning, your knife skill today was a lot better than in the quarterfinal. Your soup, I couldn't understand why you cooked the pumpkin first and then blend it. Why you chose to do that?
Because I think I just wanted to get a strong base first.
Right, and the color, you were looking at the color as well.
Yes, please.
But what you basically did was you created a puree soup before you did anything else. And you know, because for the body of a puree, it just continue to thicken as you cook. And by the time it gets to us, it can be really, really thick. Too much pepper. Remember, when you season and sprinkle, because when you sprinkle, you can get an even seasoning more so than if you shake or if you pour.
You can always add, but you can't take out. That's why we sprinkle and not pour.
Your main course, product knowledge. You have to know the product that you're working with, because if you don't know what your protein is and how it is going to react when you start to cook it, you can run into problems.
Tuna was overcooked for sure.
Your rice cannot be a risotto, so only a boreal rice for a risotto.
It actually had the flavor, but you see when you start the rice, it actually had a little cast on one side, meaning that the temperature on the rice, so the pot was not on the stove properly. You see one side when it do that, like it burning, and so then I actually tasted that in my tasting. It worked really, really well.
Yeah.
But today was just one of the days where you probably tried to risk too much.
I was told that my soup was good, but it was just a tad bit over seasoned. And my main dish, I called it a risotto, but I honestly forgot that when you name a dish something, it must have all the components, and I used a long grain rice. And also, my tuna was a bit tad overdone. I honestly thought everything as constructive criticism, because, you know, that's the only way we'll build and improve from there.
The big man Brathwaite has got an important wicket. Side. Oh, West Indies, that helps. Will it carry? It does carry. Remember the name. History for the West Indies.
On October 21st, bring the whole family to the Bajan Fair, the newest event for 2023 Barbados Food and Rum Festival. It's non-stop rides, enough vendors, and a rum shop village for the adults, live entertainment and giveaways all day long. And the best part, I bring in my birthday party to the Bajan Fair. See me, I don't see me. That's right. So on October 21st, come out from 3 p.m. to Kensington Oval for the ultimate Bajan experience. Secure your tickets now at foodandrum.com or check social media for our box offices. And get ready and get hungry because the Barbados Food and Rum Festival is back.
After the longest deliberation session to date, the results are in. Chef Edie will now announce our finalists.
So for the semi-finals, it felt like judges were taking forever to pick somebody to go home. And honestly, that was making me even more nervous.
30 minutes goes by, don't hear anything. I'm just like, have they forgotten?
So here we are at the end of the semifinals, and I can tell you it was a really tough. You did some really beautiful cooking today. Worked very well, and I'm very impressed with all of you and where you've come so far. But only 4 of you can go on to that final round.
So we're standing in front of Chef Edie, and boy, my belly started to hurt a little bit.
It's time for the actual elimination part, and I'm feeling pretty confident, still a bit nervous.
The scores were so close, fractions of a mark separating the group at the top. So let's get going. Let's start with Jade. Today you look flustered, and all the judges thought this as well. What was really good about that though, in the end, is the way you came through after, and you eventually ended up being the first one to complete. And the judges thought that your dish was very well presented and the flavors were good, and that you should go through to next week's final. Raphael, today you needed to step up a bit more though. But overall, the judges came to the consensus that you two should go through to the finals.
I honestly thought it could have been me that was going home. I was so nervous, but I was safe.
Ashad, you came in here a totally raw talent. And if you look at the development coming through this program, you can see real growth. Today, I think the pressure of the semifinals and the lack of technical knowledge showed up. So because of that, you fell just short today. So you'll be leaving us, first person leaving us today.
Asham was really improving. I actually thought Asham would go through.
He is really good, although he doesn't really have much training or much experience.
Well, as a champion, when I found out it was eliminated, I knew that pressure built diamond. I set high standards, so from the moment I received that, I just took it as a man, and mentally I was on to greater things, you know, because that's just my heart.
Can you three come together in the center for me, please? In the center. Okay? So 2 of you will be going through. 1 of you will be leaving us. You, John, always a very confident performer, and I think possessed a lot of potential. Today though, I think you knew you were in the final, and I saw that you struggled a little bit with your soup, and the time started to catch up with you in the end as well. Finished just a little bit late. The judges thought about all of this and about all of your performance, and they decided though that you did just well enough to go on to next week's final.
And then he got down to the 2. At that point, I was like, okay, maybe I'm not so confident.
So it came down to myself and Dominique for the last elimination, and realizing that it was Asham went home due to his cooking technique of the tuna. I figured that I would be penalized heavy on that, but I was trying to stay hopeful that my techniques and my work ethic in the kitchen would pull me through.
Dominique and Roger, Again, two young, really good talent. With one of you, we could see some really great improvement, telling us all that you really went home and you did some work and you did your homework and you did your practice, and it showed today in that performance.
Seeing Roger's skill set and knowing that he has that experience, it was very nerve-wracking.
You had sushi grade tuna. It is a very delicate fish to work with. It is excellent to work with. The texture is great, and everything about this fish is just wonderful. How you dealt with it today, though, determine who would have gone through between the two of you. In the end, the judges decided just by a little bit, one of you will have to be eliminated today. And that one person will be Roger.
When I heard Roger's name, my mouth kind of dropped open. I was very shocked to see that I made it and he didn't.
I think it was actually more shocked to hear that Roger was going home, because Roger knows his stuff, he can change. So when I heard he was eliminated, I was honestly shocked, but you have to expect the unexpected.
I wish all my fellow contestants, the best in the finals. I must say sorry I ain't there, but
definitely a bit disappointed, but not discouraged. Gonna go forward and use everything I've learned. Definitely learned a lot throughout the competition. Good luck to the other competitors. Be there to support them, definitely.
Well, this competition real stiff for truth, because the fact that the two of them worked so hard, and I knew that they put in the effort and they still were sent home. It was kind of like an eye-opener, like you really need to come hard next time.
Before battling it out at the live finals event, our finalists were given the unique opportunity to sit down with two former competitors. Michael Lee and Samantha were joint winners of the 2022 Junior Chef Cook-Off competition, and they met Dominique, Jade, and Dijon at Harbour Lights Beach Bar to offer some useful insight.
What would y'all say was the hardest part of the competition? For sure, time management, calming my nerves, because I was really nervous.
I think it was a really great opportunity to have interacted with former contestants and hear their advice.
They were giving us pointers and tips about going into the finals.
During the actual cooking, when y'all was cooking that stuff, did y'all find it hard to pay attention on y'all food and not the audience?
The audience, I basically blocked it out because I know that I had to focus on creating a phenomenal dish. So when I was hearing the audience, woo, 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 I was just thinking of it as a confidence booster. Just focus on what you're doing. And yeah, I didn't really pay attention to the audience at all.
What exactly is that y'all had to do? It was a mystery basket, like what ingredients I had to choose from?
Well, the first stages was not a mystery basket, but the final four, yeah, we had to do a mystery basket. So it was flying fish, it was sweet potatoes, eclipse biscuit, and I think rum. Now, I kept it simple, but still utilize the ingredients, because remember, you only got 45 minutes, and well, from last year, my experience, the competition wasn't just about fancy plates and taste. It was about you methodology and applying what you learned in training.
It was really good to hear what they had to say and their advice, and kind of just how they spoke to us. It was with all good intent.
I missed out on activity and also I think a training session. And lo and behold, I also had dengue, which also made me miss another session. But God willing, I will be good for the finals, and I come in fully prepared for everything.
Well, the idea at the beginning was always to be a finalist and actually go on to win the competition. So now that I'm in the finals, it's kind of like, more pressure to actually on the day perform and just execute what I know.
Hi, my name is Raphael.
My name is Dijon.
My name is Jade.
Hi, my name is Dominique. Come out and support us.
Cooking at the live finals
on October the 21st
at the Food and Rum Festival.
Don't forget to visit our website to secure your spot at the finals event to be held on Saturday, October the 21st, 2023 at 4 p.m. at the Bon at Kensington Oval. It's time for the highly anticipated sizzling showdown of the 2023 Barbados Food and Rum Festival. Join us for the Junior Chef Cook-Up Competition final episode at the Bon at Kensington Oval on Saturday, October the 21st. Get your tickets at the link on the screen.